Hello and welcome to the Sound Lab podcast interviews unedited. On today's show, interviews from Jenny on Holiday and Let's Eat Grandma, Tessa Rose Jackson, the Other End Terri Green, plus we throw back in time to 2018 to chat to Tom Grennan. So without further ado, let's kick off with our first interview with Jenny, who is a member of Jenny on Holiday and Let's Eat Grandma, and we had a chat with her all about it. So Jenny on Holiday, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. So after this interview, we'll be playing a single of yours called Quicksand Heart. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
The song was kind of inspired by this feeling I had that everyone had hearts made of different things, depending on maybe what I thought their emotional life was like or their soul. And mine was kind of a bit unstable. So I felt like it was like quicksand, and my body was sort of made of all these wrong materials. Um, and it was kind of about reclaiming, well, not reclaiming, maybe just trying to sort of celebrate the fact that I felt a bit defective in some way, but in a pop song.
No, fair enough. And that is off your debut solo record of the same name. For those who've not had a chance to listen to it yet, tell us a bit about the release.
Yeah, it came out this week, so quite quite a fresh thing. Um, what would you like me to say about it? Give me
Whatever
a
you want. Tell us everything.
Oh, well, a lot of it kind of talks about trying to find joy in life, I guess, and um it's quite like a pop. Obviously there's a lot of like melancholy as well in it because it's me, but there's quite a pop record about life, joy, Norwich train station, not train station, the city clock tower, and themes of that nature, some dolphins as well.
Nice mix. Yeah, a nice mix indeed. Um, and the sound that you made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of just how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
Oh, it's really difficult because I guess your kind of vision for the record comes along as you're making the project. I did at the beginning kind of want to make quite a bit more of a direct pop record just because it's something that I hadn't really I mean we've made pop records of Let's Eat Grandma, but I kind of wanted to make something a bit more direct and kind of more of a lead vocal led project. So in that sense, it is similar to what I originally planned, but also some aspects have kind of developed as they've gone on. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the time comes?
Interesting question. It really depends, actually. There's the odd bit that sometimes if I have a hook still in my head after like weeks of putting it away, then I might return to that. But some of the stuff is probably things that I'll find on my laptop after many years and think, what on earth is that? That Brit takes me back to a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm sure. And I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Honestly, it does depend a little bit, but I think often I tend to write a lot from loops. I always have done since the beginning of me and Rosa from Let's See Grandma's career. I think because we had a Boss loop pedal before we knew how to use music software. So that habit is stuck. And I still write a lot of things with loops, like even the song Dolphins is kind of based off quite a simple loop. And I'll kind of just do whatever I want over the top of that. Or sometimes I'll write it at like a keyboard or piano or whatever. Um, but and then I'll just sort of just come up with loads of ideas and see what's good.
Yeah, and obviously when it comes to writing, the world of lyrics is completely different to the world of music. How straightforward do you find it to kind of combine the two?
um, I don't necessarily find combining the music and the lyrics too difficult because often a lot of the time I'll be singing the melody and the words will sort of come out almost like subconsciously. Like I'll hear a word that comes out naturally when I'm just riffing on the melody. But sometimes fine tuning the lyrics when you've got a basic idea can be really time consuming and difficult. And sometimes coming up with the first like lyrical idea, it takes ages as well because it's all just a lot of confusing ideas in my head until it starts making sense.
Yeah, I can well imagine it. And what's it been like writing for a project of your own rather than writing for Let's Eat Grandma with Rosa?
It's been a very different experience. It's been very challenging in some ways. Like, Rose has heard all of my demos and been really supportive throughout. But it's been a lot of time spent writing on my own, which can be slightly maddening sometimes. But it's also, I think it's a really good challenge to do. And I think I've learned some new things that hopefully I can take forward with me into more music I make in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. That's good to hear. And it has been a few years since you've done anything with Rosa and Let's Eat Grandma. Where are you at with that project?
Well, at the moment, we haven't like we've just been making our solo project, so we're not like really deep into the leg process or anything. But I think basically we both just feel like we want to make more music together in the future. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm sure the Let's Eat Grandma fans will be happy to hear that. Now, obviously, the solo record only came out this week just gone, and you've had a busy week because you've done some in-store shows. How did they go?
Really well, thanks. Yeah, it's so nice meeting so many people. We did it all on the train, lots of nice train journeys. Yeah, it was really lovely actually. It's just good to get out and meet nice people. I got some nice little gifts off people actually. Some couple of little girls came and made me bracelets, which was absolutely lovely. So
Yeah, no, I can well imagine. What was it like, kind of catering your set and your setup as well for doing in-stores rather than kind of the on-stage bigger stuff?
Oh, it was I was very lucky because Jacob, who did the in-store tour with me, was like, he's a really amazing guitarist and he was really brilliant at being able to translate the songs onto the guitar because I'm not a guitarist at all and I write all my songs like on my computer. So he made them make sense on like just us, which was a very challenging thing to do. So I have to credit him for that. But it sounds quite different to the record, which is quite like a lot of synths and but I guess it's a nice setting because you can hear the songwriting a bit more almost clearly, I guess, and the lyrics as well in that setting.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. And I'm sure that's given you the bug now to go out and do some more shows. What is your plan for the rest of this year and being on the road?
Honestly, I have no idea. So many people asked me after the installs, they were like, have you got plans for a tour? I was like, I feel like I want to say that I'll do some full band shows, but I don't know if I am. And so I don't want to, I haven't got like full confirmation, but I'm hoping so. I'd love to later in the year. So fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, and we'll be hitting festival season soon as well. Do you think you'll be on any festival lineups?
I hope so. I'd love to. It'd be really fun. Again, though, I feel really bad because I honestly don't really know. I'd love to because I want to go to some festivals this year. I don't know if I went to any last year actually. I'm not sure. So
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Jenny on Holiday and Jenny of Let's Eat Grandma. Now, we are all over social media, so come and find us at The Sound Lab Yes on all the socials. You can also check out the website thesoundlabuk.co.uk. So, while you go and find us on all the socials and give us some follows, we've got our next interview from Tessa Rose Jackson. She's got a new album out this week and we had a chat with her all about it. So, Tessa Rose Jackson, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good to be here.
Good, pleasure is all mine. So we've been playing a single of yours called Built to Collide. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
I call it my rant song. It was the last song I wrote from the last record. And during the process of the record, I'd set myself some like unnecessarily high standards. And by the time I was writing this song, I'd kind of overcome all these issues. And it was a song in which I was looking back at myself and sort of basically taking the piss out of myself a little bit for having fallen down the same holes in stressing myself out for no reason again. And I sort of like to say sort of like sometimes you live and you learn, sometimes you live and you don't learn. And this song is a sort of celebration of that.
Nice, yeah, nice. And that's coming off your new record, The Lighthouse, which is out this week,
Yes.
in fact. Tell us what we can
Ah!
expect here on the record.
It's absolutely mental to me that it's out. It's a song. It's an album about death, but don't panic. Death for me is a subject that it's multifaceted. It's everything. I was raised by two mums, and I lost one of them when I was a young teenager. So death has always been quite a sort of inherently sort of there subject for me, and there's no talking about death without talking about life. I use death, the concept of death, and the knowledge that it's going to happen for me and for everyone, actually is sort of intrinsically a motivator and something positive sometimes, that I'm like, well, am I going to do this scary thing? Yeah, because I'm going to die one day, so let's do it. And so it's kind of my musings on mortality, but also growing older. I'm in my early 30s now, and life is different, and I'm different, and so it's unbelievably personal, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And the sound that you've made with this record, is it the sound you wanted, or was it kind of just how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
No, actually, very clearly had a goal. I wanted this album to be playable on guitar from start to finish. When I started writing, these were these high standards I set for myself that I thought, later on maybe they were a bit tight. But I wanted to be able to pick up a guitar and just, if someone said, "How does the new album go?" I wanted to be able to play it from start to finish, and to have, because I'm also a producer, and I sometimes in the past I've gotten so into production, and I'm not saying that I'm not proud of the work I've done before, I am, but with this one my mission was to see if I could let production be an addition, something that folds around the songs, and lifts them to a higher level, but isn't part of the foundation of a song. So it was very intentional that the album needed to feel very almost live, like it needed to be. If we play this live, I don't want it to sound very different from the album. It will, obviously, because it's live, but I didn't want to go wild with stacking and layering and processing. I like, for example, simple things like double tracking my vocal. In the past, I've always double tracked my vocal. With this one, there's one song that I really felt it really added something, but for the rest, it's all very live takes, very little comping. And that was the mission. Yeah.
Nice. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. Kind of what happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the time comes?
I always have songs that I'm like, oh, these will find a home at some point. I think I wrote about 20 songs for this record, and there's 12 on them. I think a good portion of those will make their way into the world somewhere, maybe in a collaboration setting or on an EP or something. But yeah, I'm very glad with what we whittled it down to, for sure.
Good. You've got a couple of other EPs out there. You've got a couple of albums as well. How does this record sound in comparison to those?
It sounds, I mean, again, it's really hard to say this without sounding like I'm putting down what I've done before, which I'm not. But it does feel like I've been circling a runway. And this album feels like a landing, in that I've always been very eclectic, and I love so many different genres of music, and my band is also eclectic. I have people that are very jazz influenced, people that come from like indie rock, and I let them influence me. In the past, I've been really into psychedelic, sort of Tame Impala style indie. I've been really into trip hop, and all these things I've sort of explored in albums and EPs, and it feels like this record, for the first time, I really didn't have a style that I was going for. I wanted it to just, I tried as much as possible to ignore any kind of outside inspiration and try and let it really come from me, which is really scary, by the way. I've never had this much imposter syndrome as I did with this album, but I think it has allowed for all those elements to bleed into it, but subtly, and not as a sort of proof of concept, as a sort of style exploration. And I think that's how this album makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
So I always see songwriting, I think for me is pure therapy. I don't have therapy, which I probably should, but I think I usually start with an instrumental something. I'll just pick up the guitar and I'll noodle, and I'll find something that sort of piques my interest. And I think I go into a sort of slight, not dream state, but I do clock out a little bit when I'm doing that, because I'm just genuinely enjoying playing the guitar. And I'll just be mumbling over it, and then before long, words will come out. And quite often there'll be words that are subconsciously voicing stuff I'm going through. And it's very, very funny because I'm both the creator and the observer at this point, because I think the guitar or whatever instrument I'm holding in my hand helps me remove myself a little bit from the sort of overthinker that I am, and allows for the space for me to sort of put into words how I'm feeling, or really feel what I'm feeling. And it is funny when those things come out, and I have a sort of, it makes me stop for a second sometimes, like, ooh, okay, I guess that's what I'm going through, huh? Good to know. Thank you, subconscious. So that's how it usually starts, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously when it comes to kind of the entirety of the writing, the lyrics and the music side of things are two completely different worlds. How do those two kind of combine when it comes to putting the track together?
For me, it really comes at the same time. It's I mean, of course, I'll fine tune lyrics afterwards, but I try not to too much. I think I followed a workshop with Laura Marling a while back, and she had a really good point that she was, because it's quite harsh, but it's true. Lyrics are not poetry, and if a lot of people say they are, and it is a different thing. And as soon as you start, or at least I find, if I start writing down my lyrics too much and like fine tuning them too much as to what they look like on paper as well, or like finding the better alliteration, it's not going to make it better sung. And I think that was a really good lesson. I really took that on board quite a lot, and I think it really helped to have that sort of intuitive, what do the words sound like, what's nice, what feels good to say and to sing in succession, that holds the meaning that you need. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the most elegant alliteration or the most, maybe you'll use the same word twice. Fine. So I think, usually the music inspires sort of mumble sounds that will quite quickly bleed into words that will then, before long, start making sentences. And I still don't quite understand how this works, but in the end it makes sense, and usually actually helps me process something. So it's still absolute magic to me.
Yeah, no, I can well imagine. And apart from one date in Glasgow at the end of this month, you've got a busy March coming up. I bet you can't wait to be doing some more shows.
Oh, I can't wait. I've just come off the back of doing some living room concerts, which is just always warms my heart. But it also makes me really, really giddy to like get out there with my band and hit the road. So yeah, we're playing Brighton, Bristol, London, Tynemouth, Paris, Berlin, Manchester. We're going everywhere, and ending in. Oh no, we've got a big date in Amsterdam as well. So it's gonna be really special. And Edinburgh, obviously, I forgot about Edinburgh. So that's early on. Really excited.
Yeah, I can well imagine. And we'll quite quickly be coming towards festival season as well. What's your festival season going to be looking like?
Currently still quite empty, so we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously the record isn't out yet, so I'm hopeful that will jumpstart some things, because I love festival season. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, good. And with the UK and kind of Europe covered on this March run of dates, are you hoping to go elsewhere?
Yeah, definitely. I think just more of the same, mostly. I think America for me is on hold for a bit, for obvious reasons. I'd love to just make a bigger circle. We went on tour with a fantastic artist called William Fitzsimmons last year, and we did a lot of Germany, and I really fell in love with the music culture there. So I'd love to do more of that. And I really want to come back to Ireland, because I did an Ireland tour as well over the summer, and that was just life-affirming and beautiful. So just, many places. I basically want to go everywhere twice.
Yeah. Is there anywhere you've not been to yet that you want to get to?
so many places. So many places. I would love to do a US tour at some point. It's just, the world is a bit of a strange place right now, so I feel maybe we should wait with that. I've never been to Eastern Europe, so that I'd love to do that. I'd love to play there. Yeah, loads of different places, really, everywhere. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, good.
I try not to fly. That's the only problem. So anywhere that I can, obviously America I would have to, unless I get really good at swimming. But yeah, so anywhere I can get by train, interrail my way somewhere.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Tessa Rose Jackson. Now, if you're listening to us on Spotify, then you'll be pleased to hear we also have a fresh playlist. It brings you 150 brand new up-and-coming artists that we feel like you might just enjoy yourselves. If you want to check that out, search Fresh by The Sound Lab on Spotify or head to the website thesoundlabuk.co.uk and click on the Fresh Playlist button. So while you go and find the playlist to save and listen to later on, we've got our next interview from The Other End. They've been busy releasing new music and we had a chat with them all about it. So The Other End, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, we're great.
Good, that is great to hear. So after this interview, we'll be playing a single of yours called The Records. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's a heartbreak song about the devastating fact that you have to split your record collection as a result of the breakup. And is there really anything more heartbreaking than a broken up record collection? So we decided to write a song about that, and yeah, it's about all the memories that you have of the songs you used to listen to together.
No, that's fair enough and makes full sense. And that is off your new record, Core Values. For those who've not had a chance to listen to the record yet, tell us a bit about the release.
Yeah, it's our second full-length release, recorded last year. It's always hard to define your own genre, but I think it's somewhere between Americana, folk, rock and roll, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are really proud of it.
Yeah, we are.
Good. And the sound that you made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or was it kind of just how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. The sound we get is mostly kind of it appears in the studio a lot. Of course, we write on piano and we write on guitar, so it kind of sends us in a direction, but we don't come into the studio with a defined sound ready. So the studio space and also our producer Kato Salsa brings a lot of the sound with it.
Yeah, and we are of course influenced by the music we listen to.
Yeah, of course.
And,
yeah,
it's a lot of cool indie rock, Americana.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those tracks now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the time comes?
we always consider them again,
Yeah.
but it's very common that they remain back there and never to be used again.
But we do have one song that we recorded actually for this album, but that didn't really fit. And I believe in that song. And
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Maybe that'll be on the next record.
As we were talking about, things just happen in the studio, and I think with that song, I think we went in the wrong direction, and
Yeah.
that can happen as well.
Yeah. So we are willing to give it another shot, but a lot of the songs that we write that doesn't come onto our records will just be ours forever.
Yeah, no, good. I hope we get to hear them potentially future in the way down the line. Could be something
Yeah,
that comes out.
There's going to be a B-side album. Yeah.
Can't wait for that. And I'd like to talk about the writing process as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
It's well, we were talking about the records. That's kind of an anomaly in this album, because I started writing a song and I couldn't figure out the verses. I just had the chorus, I thought it was maybe a bit too silly at the time, so I just gave it up. But you
Yeah, I really liked the chorus, so I asked if I could try to finish the song, write some new verses, and add some stuff, and then we made it into a. It wasn't really a breakup song before that, but
No, it was more of a music song.
yeah, an appreciation song. But we are vinyl record collectors ourselves, so we can obviously relate to the topic.
But besides that, we started again now for the third album, started the writing process, and it's always interesting. You can, it's not like we always start with the melody, for example, and then the lyrics come afterwards. It's all over the place, I think.
Yeah, and some songs we write together, and some songs we write alone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's all of the processes are on the records.
Yeah, they are. It could be interesting just to get yourself out of yourself to maybe start with lyrics one time and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got a busy year ahead. You're coming here to the UK in April, I believe. I bet you can't wait to be doing some more shows.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to playing more shows.
Yeah, so we're get they're coming up. This period of time in the winter. That's when you're booking all the shows for the summer. So things are popping up.
Yeah, so it's a lot of. Right now, it's a lot of loose ends, like a lot of dialogue and emailing back and forth, and hopefully more will be settled in the next month.
Yeah, good. Is this year going to look busy for you then when it comes to touring?
Hopefully, we've been playing a lot last year with the record. We released it in October. So we a lot of the late autumn and early winter was driving around and playing here in Norway. So hopefully more of that.
Yeah. It's what we
good.
love doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anywhere that you haven't played yet that you want to get to and play at some point?
That's a good question. There's a lot of we haven't played in Germany. We really should play in Germany.
We did a duo gig in Berlin once.
Yeah, that's true. So we have played in Germany actually.
Yeah, but Germany is, it's a big country. So and same with the UK. We've only been in the UK once before.
Yes, played in London a few years ago.
Yeah, can't wait to have you back. And obviously this summer is always festival season. Are you hoping to have a busy festival run, or is it going to be a quieter one for you?
That's kind of what we're working at the moment. So hopefully we will be able to announce some stuff as time progresses. Yeah.
There are a few is already ready, but hopefully there'll be more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are hoping for a busy festival summer.
Yeah, good. And with the music industry as it is these days, people like to hear new music all the time. Have you started putting thoughts towards record number 3 yet?
Yes.
That's kind of course we're booking shows and stuff like that, but it's nice early January now to be writing again and figuring out what we're gonna do on the third record.
We have a lot of thoughts, and we have a few songs maybe, and it's exciting. It's really nice to think that there'll always be another record to make, and I don't think we haven't made our best record yet, so it's yet to come.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with The Other End. Now, if you are loving all of today's interviews, then you can listen to them all again in an edited form on our international radio show. It's called Future Hits, and it brings you 2 hours of new music interviews and live sessions too. If you want to check that out, head to the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click on the international radio shows button. So it's time for our final new interview of the show, and it comes from Terri Green. She's just started releasing some more new music, and she's got a load of touring coming up as well this year. So Terri Green, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Good morning. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So we've been playing a single of yours called That's Something. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Yeah, this is I had released several records that were, the UK was, just to put a little backdrop, the UK was the first country that started supporting my leap into soul or return to soul music. And we had like kind of a 0 to #1 with Starpoint and some other stations, and we were like shocked. So we kept releasing music, my partner and I, Toddy Reed for the Terri Green project. And then in about 2022, I have been, because I'm from Washington, D.C., I had an opportunity to have to work with an engineer, Jamil Face Johnson, who does Raheem Devon. And he said, yeah, send me what you got. Let me see if I can give it the energy that it needs. So this record is literally from 2023 and then just finally got finalized. And it's one of my favorite records I've ever written. And it was really just a returning to, the music that I grew up on, that I love. It was supposed to be kind of Isley Brothers-esque, kind of leaning Isley Brothers. And a good friend of mine had a guitar lick that he put on it for the solo. And I was like, okay, that's it. So this was just really going back to the roots, so to say. And lyrically, it was just, I wanted to talk like about subjects that meant something to grown-up folks. I did a lot of dance and electronic and trance and so many different things. I had toured the UK in the 90s with Tu Avisa, and touring all the clubs. Your lovely motorway, thank you for that. And it was just, this was just a coming home song. And I just woke up this morning to find out that we have like a top 50 iTunes sales record. And so I think it's kind of the first time that I've done that. And I'm not really, you just never know what a record's going to do. Because I thought, okay, this is not a tempo record. And my promoters love tempo records. And I have one for the summer. But this was just an R&B song, just a soulful glide, no screaming, no put your hands up in the air. It's really a lot of Terri in that record.
No, that's great to hear. And you've touched on my next question, which is, what's this year going to look like for you and releasing some more music? So what are you doing this year with music?
Yeah, so first of all, I'll be in London on March 28th at Soul Mama. If anybody wants to come hear that something live, and playing all the Terri Green stuff. And I'll also be dropping a very up-tempo song I produced with a Parisian producer. We wrote a kind of disco soul thing, so that's coming next. And I think it's going to get a lot of traction. People like I've always been successful with traction with tempo records, so I'm really looking forward to see where that goes. I call it the old Lizzo. Like, I was Lizzo before Lizzo, doing dance music and being very eclectic as a writer, as a producer. And so this is just kind of going back to the roots, the dance roots, the electro house roots. But and there are going to be remixes at the end of the month. I'm sure you'll get those. That I am blown away from Earfunk, who produced we did a project called Deeper People together years ago. And it was very deep house, soulful house. So the soulful house remixes are going to be very clever. I think radio will like it as well. So I'm looking forward to the remixes. And then I have another duet coming up with a guy. He's actually on tour with After Seven right now. His name is Marcus Allen. We'll be doing like a Southern Soul record together. So it's like there's quite a lot going on. Quite a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like you're super busy with shows and music, and you seem to be bridging a whole bunch of genres. Like you said, this one's more R&B soul. You've got,
do you see my eyes like crazy lady?
Yeah, you've got Southern coming up, but you're also known as Terri B, doing electronic dance. What's your brain like when it comes to having to bridge all these genres?
So I was very specific in not wanting my soul customers when we first began. Terri B was short for my real name. I was married to a Danish guy, Bier. And at that time, I just wanted to have this anonymous Terri B thing. Actually, no, that's not how that came about. I was in a gas station in Stockholm, And Swedish Mafia bandmate Sebastian Ingrosso's uncle had me over working on music, Luciano Ingrosso, and he said, "You have to stop doing records not in your name, Terry." And then the other guy, Jerry Rapero, he said, "Yeah, you have to use your name. Stop being in. You've always been in groups." And that was the day that Terry B was born. And then I did a record called Soul Heaven, which went everywhere as well. People were playing it in every disco, every club in the planet was playing Soul Heaven, and Tu Avisa was. So it just was a kind of starting to identify myself, but in actuality, I kind of shouldn't have changed my name. It's something that I kind of regret because it's just a lot to keep up with. But I do like it that my trance and all that crazy doesn't pop up. When I say Terri Green, you get like soul records. And I've stuck to that very, very, very adamantly.
Yeah, no, good. And I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't play piano or not enough to do. I had lessons once, but I don't remember anything. So but I'm a very fast, very almost like a Rain Man lyricist. So you can give me any genre, which is how I was able to write all those things. I mean, I'm a lover of so many different genres. As soon as I hear a melody or I can sing a melody, it almost immediately initiates a lyric in my head. Like with That Something, I had the verse without music. Like I almost didn't have music when I first heard that. And then when I finally got the track, like a kind of piano sound, I just went with it and I could sketch out the verse right away, chorus. I've walked into studios where or writing sessions where everyone had a guitar. And I was like, they were like, "Where's yours?" And I'm like, "It's in here in my head." And I would sing the whole song, and they're like, "Well, what song is that?" I was like, "Well, it's the one we're writing right now. Let's get to it." So then I gained a little bit of respect because they said, "Okay, she might have a little bit of talent." But basically, it was it has to. Usually, it's pretty quick for me because I don't like to dilly-dally on a song. If I'm not feeling it, I'm just probably not ever gonna feel it. But the Terri Green project songs was different because there was so much intricate production and string arrangements that I actually did take my time to find the right hooky chorus that people could understand in Germany or France or and that works. Like Giving It Up, everyone can sing it within the first round. So it's very important for me to make sure I keep a connection with the listener. So the hook has to be on point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of artists seem to struggle when it comes to combining lyrics with the music itself. What's that process like for you?
Quick, fast. It's almost like a relationship. Like you see somebody, you like them, you're already in bed. You're like, it's very organic, and I've been very lucky that my brain can find the connecting tissue really quickly. I also was mentored by some really famous writers. So Steve Dorff, who wrote for Dusty Springfield, Karen Carpenter, Garth Brooks, he did Barbra Streisand. He brought me, I was in sessions with him in Los Angeles and Warsaw, and guys like that, like the Randy Newman level and some of these classic writers, they teach you to write in a different way. And they make sure you stay on point. Wendy Waltman, who wrote Save the Best for Last and all these songs, she's also writing partner. I never forget how integral they were in my seasoning as a writer. And if the room you're in, everyone's not better than you, technically, then you're not going to grow. So I found that I'd rather be nervous with people who are better than me than comfortable being the one with the most claps. I think it's important to challenge yourself.
Yeah, I fully agree. And you touched on a show that you're going to be doing in March over here. What else have you got planned for touring this year?
There's a lot. So in that same month, we're doing a couple of festivals in Germany with the whole band. We're also going to play, before that, I have a sold out show each time we do it called Diamond Nights, which is full band. We have like 10, 11 people on stage. It's crazy. And like I said, I've already booked another show in the U.S. We're booking some showcases as well with Marcus with the Southern Soul stuff, and just ping pong, pong. And just jumping all over the place. Plus, the ship touring I'm on my way to Hong Kong in a week. So it's just crazy. I just sleep. I just go to the airport and fall asleep, and then you don't have any stress. You don't look so terrible. So I take one day at a time, man. This moment in the world, you just got to breathe. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I can well imagine, Terry. It's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you so much, Garrett. I'm glad that I was up early this morning and got myself together. Ding, ding, ding. So if anybody wants to check out the music, it's on www.terri-green.com. And if they want, everything's digitally everywhere. And I want to thank the UK, people like you, Garrett, who, Mr. Garrett, Jim, like you, were integral in helping independent artists get their start. And Jim, it's very difficult to push independent music, and it's a long, long journey. So you're always appreciative of people who are there as you try to make this journey.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Terri Green. And this is the part of the show where we like to throw back in time. And we're doing so back 8 years, back to 2018, where we had the pleasure of heading to Southampton to having a chat with Tom Grennan. Yes, this was just ahead of his brand new debut record, which you can tell by now he has been making waves in the music scene, but we had a pleasure of having a chat with him back then. So from 2018, Tom Grennan, you have a new album, so tell us all about it.
Well, it's called Lighter Matches, and it's an album that I'm really, really proud of, man. It's a very classical sounding, it's a very classic kind of album. It's got orchestra in it, it's got a lot of brass, choirs, big songs and just a lot of lyrics, man. So yeah, I'm really excited for people to hear it and make it their own.
Excellent. Because you've released some tracks off it already. Which are your favourites on the album?
Each song's got their own like favourite part for me. But I was listening to the album the other day, and there's a song called Little by Little Love on it, which is the last song on the album, and it sums up the album really, really well for me. And it's a nod to like my childhood. It's a nod to like temptation, because I'm a boy who can be tempted very easily, and the word no isn't in my vocabulary. But it's a song that kind of explains that, and a song that makes me feel really good, and it's a song that definitely has a Glastonbury feel to it. And some tracks are already out off the album, and your latest being Barbed Wire is your latest single. Tell us a bit about that. Yeah, Barbed Wire is a song that for me I wrote basically about like standing up and believing in what yourself and not letting anything hold you back. And barbed wire is that kind of thing that it's dangerous to touch, isn't it? And it's like if you're behind barbed wire, it's very hard to get out of that situation. But like, it's a song about going up to and facing things and going, do you know what? I'm gonna break it down whether you like it or not, and yeah, basically about that. And we'll play Barbed Wire straight after this interview. But you've done quite a few festivals already this year, including Isle of Wight. How's your summer been so far? Yeah, it's been a really, really busy summer so far. But every festival has been crazy, very good. Like, it's been big crowds, and just a very good. It's just been a really, really good vibe, and I've had lots of fun at the moment, and it's only just started. So yeah, I'm excited for more to come, and excited for. I love festivals, man. The only part of festivals I don't like is the hay fever. That's the only part. Excellent. And we're not even halfway through festival season yet.
You've got plenty of others coming up. Which ones can't you wait to head to?
I'm really, really looking forward to getting to Barn on the Farm. I'm headlining that, which is crazy because last year I played at like 2:00 in the afternoon on the smaller stage. So to be headlining is pretty crazy, man. I'm going to Moscow, which I'm really, really looking forward to because I've never been to Russia before. Kendal Calling, I'm really looking forward to. Independence in Cork, I'm really looking forward to. Why Not Fest. There's loads of different ones I'm looking forward to, man. Reading and Leeds. Neverworld in Kent, I'm really looking forward to. There's loads, man. Every festival's just a wicked vibe, so I'm looking forward to all of them, really.
And then you're heading off to Europe. You're looking forward to that?
Yeah, man. I'm doing my first show in Paris, which I'm really looking forward to because I love France. I'm going to Brussels, I'm going to Amsterdam, Luxembourg, Munich, Berlin, Hamburg. So yeah, it's a big tour, man. And I'm excited to see what the reception I'm getting in different countries. It's going to be good, man.
Before that, you've got some performances across the UK to help promote the album this week.
Yeah, I'm breaking a world record. Attempting to. So I've got a world record guy with me, and we've got to attempt to do how many gigs can we get in the space of 12 hours, and we're travelling to loads of different towns in the UK. And then I'm doing loads of in-store shows when the album's out. So I'm doing London, Manchester, Leeds, going back to my hometown, Bedford. So yeah, man, there's a lot of gigs coming up. So I just hope my voice can take it.
Excellent. And I know that the album is only just out, but are we working towards the next album? Are you still writing?
Yeah, I've had thoughts of how I want it to sound and how I want to go about it. I haven't really started writing songs for it yet, but I have definitely I've definitely thought about it, and I'm definitely ready to get back in the studio. And I've definitely thought about who I want to write with. I mean, who I want to work with, and who I want to produce the album and stuff like that. So, but let's just get this album out first and see what happens with this album. But I definitely have ideas.
Well, it's been great having a chat with you. Thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing you at Reading Festival. Thanks very much.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much for having me.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Tom Grennan. And that's the end of the show for another week, I am afraid. But don't you worry, we will be back next week. But if you can't wait until then, social media at The Soundlab Yes on all the socials. You can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. And we will be back next week for another episode of Interviews Unedited. Goodbye.